Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another quick video. All right, y'all, just back with this discussion video here. I just want to give you my thoughts on Daniel Cormier, his recent statements he made about Alexa Grasso after her performance against Macy Barber. I'm actually going to talk about this again on my upcoming podcast episode on Thursday, but I just want to go in and give you my thoughts on some of the things he said, because some of the things he mentioned about Alexa Grasso's boxing I found interesting, and I actually kind of said some similar things on Sunday night on my live stream, where I was comparing Alexa's boxing to Rose's boxing, as far as, them being, great fighters to watch in boxing. And, they're very entertaining, their footwork, their combinations, all of that. I kind of felt like they were almost on that same level. But Rose, of course, he's a little bit better, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But Daniel Cormier, the similar things he mentioned there was he felt like she was one of the best boxers in WMMA, which I didn't say that exactly, but he felt like she was one of the best pure boxers, which I feel like she could be one of the best pure boxers, which he might have meant that too, but I know a lot of people have been talking about that, giving their thoughts on it. So I'll read the statement here real quick. Daniel Cormier, he has said, Alexa Grasso may be the best boxer, pure boxer in all the female mixed martial arts. Again, Wmma is kickboxing, Valentina and Amanda Nunes are kickboxers. So he feels like she may be the best pure boxer from the way he's saying. But to me, I feel like she could be that. So I kind of disagree with what he's saying there now. I do agree that she's fun to watch. She has beautiful movement, beautiful combinations like Rose. But to call her the best boxer in WMMA right now, you can't say that. Because for the one thing, she hasn't fought the best fighters and beat the best fighters with her boxing skill. She's very talented. She's definitely a talented boxer. And I give her that all day. Like, when you see her in there, she definitely looks like a boxer. And she's demanding respect with that boxing style in there. She definitely dictates the pace with her boxing in the octagon with the opponents that she's in there with. But to call her the best, you can't say that yet, because she hasn't beat top level opponents with that boxing. She wasn't able to outbox Tatiana Suarez. She wasn't able to outbox and stop Carla Esparza. She wasn't able to set traps and beat fighters like Felice Harry. So, but don't get me wrong, Alexa Grasso is one of the better boxers in WMMA. She's just not the best. Like, I do consider her in that top 10, maybe like in the 6 through 10 of top boxers in WMMA, but she's just not the best. Like, I wouldn't consider her like the top 3, if that makes sense. So once you really break it down and look at her skill set, it's there, but as far as her execution against top level opponents, that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying she's not the best, but she is one of the better boxers in WMMA. You can still learn from her. If you watch her fight, you can still definitely learn from what she does. Before you can give her that stamp of being the best boxer in WMMA, they have to back it up with a resume. They have to back it up with those opponents. See, when you look at fighters like Wmma, she's one of the best Muay Thai fighters that came from Muay Thai to WMMA, because she transitioned well. She wants to stay on her feet. She wants to throw kicks and punches. So she made sure she had solid takedown defense. She made sure she was physically strong and durable to stay on her feet to do what she wants to do. At the same time, she adjusted her footwork and her style from Muay Thai to an MMA striker. So she has those great fundamentals from Muay Thai and boxing in her arsenal. But when you look at somebody like Alexa Grasso, she looks like that. She has the form of a great boxer, but when she gets in there with those top fighters and those veterans like Tatiana or Carla, she comes up short. Even like in third round Macy Barber, she didn't dictate the pace in that third round, and she didn't set excellent traps. She could have set some good traps and just countered and possibly knocked Macy Barber out. There was plenty of openings where I saw her as a boxer. She could have knocked Macy Barber out, but she didn't take full advantage on that. So for her to be the best boxer in WMMA, she has to start beating some elite fighters in the top 10 in the flyweight division. She has to beat some fighters in the top 10 with her boxing. She has to use her boxing to set up submissions and, set up takedowns and just set up ground and pound, or just, win clearly on points and just dominate with her footwork and dominate with her jab, same way Wmma dominated with her jab against Jessica Andrade. And then whenever she beats those fighters, she has to go to that title eliminator status, and then maybe even beat that fighter, then maybe challenge Valentina. And if she lost to Valentina but still held her own or got to that point, she would still be considered one of the best boxers, because you have to go through those motions and back it up with a resume at that point. Skills have to be backed up with a resume. Now, going back to what I said with Rose on my live stream, now when I watch them, I feel like you can watch Rose and you can watch Alexa and learn a lot from them. You know, I feel like a lot of women out there, fighters on the come up, even men, they can learn from Rose and Alexa Grasso how they transition their boxing into WMMA. But for Rose, you can really learn a lot because she was able to execute hers. She was able to execute hers. You know, she's beat a lot of fighters off her boxing, and she beat the champion and beat the champion in the rematch, former champion in the rematch with her boxing. You know, she was able to take the belt from Wmma with her distance, with her left hook, and her timing. You know, then after that in the rematch, she was able to use her punch output, her jab, and her just overall work rate with her boxing, and again her footwork and timing in the rematch with Wmma. So yeah, Rose is definitely on that level as one of the best boxers in WMMA. Then yeah, when you look at other fighters who use their stand-up like GDR, hell of a right hand. You know, one of the best 1-2 punchers in WMMA. You know, I feel like she has some of the best right hands, best offense. That's GDR. And then after that, when you look at fighters like Valentina, who also competed as a professional boxer, she doesn't really have the exact stance like a boxer, but she definitely takes away some of the fundamentals of boxing in her game. You know, Valentina has the distance management. She has the great jab, the great timing. You know, the way she was able to nullify Holly Holm, you know, in a good chess match. You know, have her moments against Amanda Nunes with a good chess match from boxing. Same with Wmma. Wmma's from Muay Thai, but she has some great fundamentals from boxing. You know, great pumping out the jab, volume punch. Even when she's not kicking and she wants to go to her hands, she has good boxing. You know, and again, Valentina, like going back to her stance may not be full on boxing, but she has those fundamentals that really make up for it, and you can say she is an elite boxer. But Alexa Grasso, she definitely has that potential. She definitely has that potential. I just feel like she just needs to beat some more top-level opponents. You know, if she starts like outboxing fighters like Cynthia Calvillo, Viviana Araujo, or, you know, using her boxing to submit fighters like Caitlin Chikagian and to take them to the ground, then we can say, yeah, she's one of the best pure talented boxers in WMMA. But as of right now, when you watch her, you can definitely learn a lot from her. You can definitely learn what to do and what not to do as a boxer that transitions into WMMA. But again, when you look at her form, she definitely looks like one of those best pure boxers, because the way she approaches fights in the octagon, sometimes you could just take her from the octagon into the boxing ring and put some gloves on her, and she can compete. Yeah, she can handle it. You know, she's got the hands. I'll be like, hey man, Alexa Grasso can move. You know, I'm looking at her. That's why I said she's one of the most fun fighters to watch for me as a boxing fan. Same with Rose. But again, Rose already graduated. You know, she's already taking names and proven time and time again. So yeah, that's just pretty much my thoughts on that whole statement that Daniel Cormier said. You know, as far as her being probably the best pure boxer in WMMA. I disagree with that. She can be, but she just needs those names on her resume. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment sections what y'all think. Like I said, I'll talk about it again on Thursday on my podcast. What do y'all think about Alexa Grasso? Is she one of the best boxers in WMMA? What are y'all thoughts? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.